Love. It's a word we all know, right? A feeling so many of us chase for our entire lives. It all begins with a spark. Maybe just a simple glance across a crowded room. It's the promise of forever whispered in the dead of night. The dream of a shared future. A home. A family. This is the kind of love that's supposed to conquer all, to heal every wound, and to bring light into even the darkest corners of our world. But what happens when that promise shatters? What happens when the light of love begins to fade, but get replaced by something much darker, something twisted and unrecognizable? The person who once brought you comfort now brings you fear. The home that was once a sanctuary becomes a prison. This isn't about the love that conquers all. This is about the love that consumes. We're going to pull back the curtain on the darkest side of human connection. Because for some, the promise of till death do us part isn't a vow of lifelong commitment, it's a threat. The transformation is subtle, almost like a slow poisoning of the heart. The first time a fist hits the wall right next to your head, it's a terrifying, brutal declaration that the rules have changed. If I can't have you, no one can. The vow, till death do us part, twisted into a murderous prophecy. Every neighborhood has one, the perfect couple. In the sun-drenched, affluent community of Irvine, California, Bill and Sonny Easter were the picture of success. He was handsome, a charismatic attorney. She was beautiful, a devoted mother to their 3 children. They lived in a sprawling home in a gated community. They drove luxury cars and honestly seemed to have it all. To their friends and community, they were an ideal, a golden couple living a golden life. But as we have learned, the most pristine surfaces can hide the deepest rot. Behind the expensive gates and designer clothes, a dark and toxic dynamic was taking hold. Bill, the charming public figure, was intensely insecure and controlling. Sonny, the seemingly confident socialite, was living in a state of growing fear. The fortress of their wealth was not keeping trouble out. It was locking Sonny in. The first major crack appeared, not because of an affair, but because of a schoolyard incident. One evening, Sonny was at their children's elementary school. Another parent, she would later claim, was acting erratically and became aggressive toward her. His reaction was not protective, it was predatory. He saw this not as an attack on his wife, but as a challenge to his own authority. He became obsessed with the other parent, a woman named Kelly Peters. This single minor incident lit the fuse on his explosive and obsessive nature. Bill, with Sonny's participation, decided that Kelly Peters had to be punished. But this was just the beginning. As attorneys, they knew how to manipulate the system. They filed a civil lawsuit against Kelly, claiming she had been stalking their family. The claims were baseless, but their true masterstroke of evil was yet to come. They decided to frame Kelly for a crime she did not commit. One night, Bill Easter drove to Kelly Peters' home. He planted a bag containing Vicodin, Percocet, and marijuana in her unlocked car. The next step was to alert the authorities. Bill, the powerful attorney, dialed 911 using a disguised voice. He identified himself as a concerned parent who had seen Kelly Peters driving erratically. He said he was worried she was high while volunteering with the children. It was a cold, calculated, and devastating lie. The police responded exactly as the Easters had hoped. To her horror, they found the drugs exactly where Bill had planted them. Kelly was detained, her world turning upside down in an instant. For over a year, Kelly Peters lived in a state of constant terror. She lost her volunteer position. She had no idea who had framed her or why. The Easters, meanwhile, watched from a distance, enjoying the fruits of their wicked plan. Their obsession had become a sport. The Easters' plot was nearly perfect, but they made one crucial mistake. The 911 call Bill made was recorded. Detectives looked for who might have motive. Their search went back to the original schoolyard incident and the lawsuit filed by Bill and Sonny Easter. Detectives got Bill Easter's DNA and compared it to DNA on the bag of drugs. It was a match. The powerful attorney was caught by his own arrogance. He'd left a trail straight to his door. The trial of Bill Easter was a spectacle. He maintained his innocence with the same arrogance and charm that had defined his life. The prosecution, however, had an arsenal of evidence, and their star witness, his own wife, on the stand, she recounted the plot. From the schoolyard argument to the night he left to plant the drugs. Her testimony painted him as a vindictive, controlling monster. The trial revealed his pathology, not petty jealousy, an extreme narcissistic rage. He felt entitled to a perfect life and believed he could destroy anyone who disrupted it. In the end, the evidence was insurmountable. The jury saw through his facade. Bill Easter was found guilty on multiple felonies. Conspiracy, false imprisonment. He was sentenced to prison. His life of privilege ended by the legal system he'd tried to corrupt. These are not love stories gone wrong. They are stories that were never about love in the first place. They are about power. They are about control. They are about possession. Love in its purest form is about freedom. It is about supporting another person's growth. It's a partnership built on trust and respect. Possession, on the other hand, is about confinement. It is a cage, sometimes gilded and beautiful, but a cage nonetheless. The line between intense affection and early-stage obsession can seem blurry. The jealousy can be mistaken for passion. But we have seen the blueprint, we have seen the warning signs: isolation, jealousy, monitoring threats. Recognizing these patterns is not about being cynical. It is about being safe. Trust our instincts. Believe victims when they speak out, no matter how powerful or beloved their abuser may be. The horrifying murder of Shiori Ino was a catalyst for change. Her sacrifice ultimately created a new layer of protection for countless others. Tell these stories, understand their patterns, demand accountability. We create a world a little safer, a little wiser, and a little less hospitable to the monsters who walk among us. The love that turns to obsession is a sickness of the soul, but ignorance and silence are the conditions in which it thrives.